Hey guys, it's Rob J here, and in today's video we've got a product from a new ant shop to the channel. It's Formica Modular Ant Farm Kit, and they're based over in Switzerland. Their website accepts Great British Pound and other currencies as well. So today we've got their small natural ant farm kit, and when I say a kit you can really see that it is a kit in every sense of the word. You get absolutely everything from test tube, tubing, tweezers, pipette, to a test tube to tube adapter, decorations, and we don't mean basic decorations. And the whole premise of this shop is essentially everything is basically 3D printed, and you can get decorations in 3D printed, and all the parts are generally 3D printed. So let's work our way through the set, or the kit, and we'll start off with the nest and work our way down. So the nest itself, this is the small, and they have a medium and large, so the nest goes up with an Outworld size as well. So the nest itself is 3D printed. It comes with this removable lid. This is to keep the ants in the dark. There is no red overlay, but you could easily cut one to size and place it over that, and then the lid on top of it when no observations are being made. As you can see, there are 4 oval shaped deep chambers, and then a really long thin chamber running down the back that basically has a perforated wall leading to the hydration media, which is like a floss material, and it doesn't actually carry a lid. But this is okay. Every 2 to 3 days it will need rewatering, but this not only acts as the hydration media, it also acts as the airflow to the nest through the perforated interior wall. So this has a 2-in-1 job. The attachment is all 3D printed, and this is the only part that I would be more gentle with. Out of everything I was looking at in this entire set, the only thing as I thought is this connection would be the weakest point if you were to treat it too rough. In the kit you get a test tube to tube adapter. This is all 3D printed, and it comes with the test tube and the tube to go with it, and it works really well. I mean, when you push it in, it goes in and then you hear it lock. I really liked this, and this is how you would move your ants into this particular nest. Once they are big enough and this nest is a suitable size, because you never want to move ants in too soon or too late. This is how you would move them in. You also get a 3-way joiner, but I'll tell you a bit more about the 3-way joiner as soon as we've covered the included Outworld. The Outworld itself is pretty basic Outworld. It's a acrylic tub. It looks just like the ones that you get from IKEA, but this one's got a few extras. Not only has it got a 3D printed air vent on the top, this is loose, but this enables you to lift it off and to use that as a feeding hole, and it's too heavy for the ants to lift off. Any species big enough to move it wouldn't even fit in the nest anyway, and this wouldn't be applicable. The 3D printed connection port is a lot stiffer and sturdier, and this one was a doddle, and I really liked how it was attached. All in all, I think the Outworld is certainly suitable to the size of nest that this has been targeted at. Now, as I mentioned before, decorations are included, and that does include a ground layer of sand, more than enough for this nest. You can have a thin layer and have plenty left over in your bag. Now, moving on to the 3D printed, you get to pick a theme when you're checking out. So when you buy this kit, you can pick from a number of themes. Here I've gone for the Easter Egg Island, I'm pretty sure it is, or Easter Island theme, and this includes a bowl and 3 various sized heads. But the other ones I'm showing you here, I think it's Roman, Japanese garden, fairy, forest, and this one will be Aztec, Egypt, and the Wild Wild West. So let's set this up as per the really rather detailed instructions printed in colour that's included. So we're going to set it up the suggested way. By no means is this a requirement, but let's do it how the manufacturer says, and we'll see what we end up with. So first of all, they advise us to cut the tube into 3 even segments. Then, going from the picture, a water test tube which is filled more because this will be the drinking source for the ants. So it's not a test tube setup, it's just a drinking tube setup from the pictures. So I'm just going from what the pictures say and the description. From this stage, you'd simply take your adapter, push it in and make sure it locks. At that stage, it just has you connect up the 3 various pieces of cut tubing to your 3-way adapter or your T-junction. Then to your water source, this is where your ants will go for their drinking, and it will also help keep the tubing and the nest entrance humid. And all we do now is connect up the Outworld segment, and then we'll connect up to the nest. And this is the way the instructions and the manufacturer designed it. I actually quite like this layout. If room is a bit more of a problem, you can do shorter lengths of tube, or if width is a problem, you could lay it out a bit differently. Or you could tube up your own Outworld, or another Outworld. You could do a lot of different things with this kit, and this is set up now and how you would really want to do it. So let's see what this whole thing looks like when we've actually done the decorations. We're not going to go overboard. This is just a demonstration, but let's see if we can't make it up and give you an idea of what this would look like. Obviously you would have picked a different theme, unless you had picked the Easter Island theme. Yours would look a bit different. So I'm just going to put a thin layer of gravel sand in. It's quite a large grained sand, which is really rather nice. The little grains do not get everywhere. Just going to put in a little feeding dish, and let's just put in one of these 3D printed decorations, and maybe there's a bag here with like pine needles and pine cones and different bits and bobs, a little bit of cut wood and that. I'm just going to add a bit of that to give it a bit more of a natural look, which is exactly why it's named the Natural Kit. So obviously you would do a lot better job than me, and you would obviously be setting it up more to how big your ants are. If you've got like Aces niger in here, they've got tons of room in that Outworld. If you're using slightly larger species, you might want to have less decoration. It does come with some coin capsules as well, so you don't actually need to use the large 3D printed bowl, but if you do, that's obviously a topic. It also includes a starter of some honey, and in the instructions it asks you to put a bit in the bowl to get your ants started. So you could set this up any way you like, and obviously I would say everything is included. Now, to make your life a little bit easier, I could advise maybe a bit of PTFE around the rim so no ants get on the lid, or if you're only going to use the feeding hole, maybe a circle of PTFE around the feeding hole. No ants really get across PTFE upside down, and that means you could lift your vent off, no problem, with no ants clinging on the other side, and you could put your food through your feeding hole. Also, use the hole to lift the lid off easier. It's really up to you. But as you can see, the kit really is rather all-inclusive, and this is once again the small natural ant farm kit. If you've got any questions or further questions for me, pop them in the comments below. This was quite a lot to go through, so if you have any particular questions, drop them in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, why not give me a thumbs up and a like. Thanks a lot guys, and I'll catch you next time.